You're listening to my friend Gary Anderson on Night Dreams Talk Radio, the best in paranormal radio.
Well, here it is, the middle of the week already, and I hope everybody's having a great week. Boy, the news really sucks. That's all I can say. Well, anyway, from my place to at the compound to your place to worldwide, you're listening to me, Gary, on Night Dreams Talk Radio. Now, you can say rest in peace to the Space Force. It looks like, well, Congress is not going to do any funding of it. It's not going anywhere in Congress. And I wonder why. You have the Air Force saying, well, it should have been a part of their division. You have the Marine Corps saying it should have been theirs. And then you have the Navy that said it should have been theirs. So it's actually going nowhere. NASA says, well, you know what? We're going to be returning to the moon a lot sooner than you think. Well, that's a smart move. We should be doing that before even thinking about going to Mars. Anyway, our guest tonight, Mary A Joyce, runs a website called skyships-over-cashiers.com. If you're into like reportings and reading reportings on Bigfoot, UFOs, little people, Earth changes, you need to check out skyships-over-cashiers.com. And Mary will be on right after this.
Please check out the Night Dreams Talk Radio website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. Also, if you want to keep our show free of advertising, just hit the donate button. Give $1 or $2. Remember, all prior shows are always free to listen to. We at Night Dreams Talk Radio thank you for your support.
Yeah, and check out www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. You know, we've updated and we've been updating that website, and we plan to do a lot more to it very shortly. Now, a little bit about Mary A. Joyce. Well, you know, she is a reporter by trade. She runs one of, I think, the best reporting centers next to Peter Davenport out there on UFOs. But one thing exciting more about her reporting center, it covers not just UFOs. It covers everything from UFOs to Bigfoot, strange things that's happening out there, little people, and Earth changes. Hey, Mary, how you doing tonight, kid?
Fine. It's good to hear you again.
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling really good this week, so I got more bubbles in me.
More bubbles. All right.
More bubbles. So how's things going with you right now?
It's going well. I hear you. Whoops, we're getting all that feedback again.
Uh-oh. I'm trying to figure out.
Anything we can do? Let me turn down my volume way down and see if that'll make a difference.
Okay. Yeah, because, since we talked last time, I figured, well, maybe it's a defective here mixer.
Okay, now, is that any better? Well, I'm just testing now. Hello?
Well,
hello.
Can
you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay, by turning my volume way down, it seems to make a whole lot more difference.
Okay, well, I turned mine down so I can just barely hear myself talk, which, unlike our parrot at our house, I love hearing myself talk. So what is, this whole month we've been talking about strange things like aliens, UFOs, reportings. If UFOs are real, or is it a figment of, the mass population's imagination? What is going on? Anything new and exciting in the last month?
Well, I know that you've been covering this all month, right?
I sure have.
And you probably have covered it every which way. And I just want to jump in by saying that there are so many different kinds of UFOs. We have those that come from deep space. We have those that are man-made. We have those that come from inside the Earth. There is no simple answer. So when we see something in the sky, you can't always tell right away what you're dealing with. And we've had this website, skyships-over-cashiers.com, for over 10 years now. And so I have come to the conclusion there are a lot more man-made UFOs than people realize. And I think it's pretty safe to assume that our government and our military are way beyond what they ever let us know. And sometimes science fiction gets us to the truth quicker than we can get to the truth. So we can't jump and say everything we see in the sky is a UFO.
Well, I can honestly say that. I mean, for the last month, in talking to some of the guests I have, it makes you wonder, how much of it is man-made from our planet versus what's from out there. And again, also the reliability of a lot of the reports, some of them, honestly, I had one person that claimed that the Earth is protected by, ready for this, 25 million cloaked spaceships. They're protecting Earth.
Okay.
I really gagged my coffee when that person told me that one.
Now I can't come up with those kind of numbers, but we did have a sighting earlier this year, and a woman who runs an inn was leaving the grocery store, and she looked up and she saw a UFO that caught her attention. But then she pulled over, and when she looked at the night sky, she could see more UFOs than you could count, not in the millions, but it was really pretty much filling the sky with these. And most people wouldn't have even noticed them if they hadn't really looked. But then she would see them do a flash of light, and they would take off. So that gave confirmation that, it wasn't just lumps in the sky. So there are times when large numbers of them do appear, but I, like you, would question the number that you've just given me.
Well, I think 25 million is quite a bit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you heard the show when I had Timothy Cullen on, but he was abductee back in 1978. He was one of Roger Lear's, implant removal patients. And after he had his implant removed, he really got into it kind of heavy, big time, getting, like going out where there was cattle mutilations and, investigating those. But, it really intrigued me, some of the stories I heard about cattle mutilations. So much I mentioned it, and one of my regular guests that comes on who worked for the CIA, matter of fact, I'm not going to say who he is, but he sent me over some pictures of people that were mutilated, or I should say, in South America and around the Amazon. The same type of thing as what was happening with the cattle was happening with people. And I looked at those, and I'll tell you, honestly, Mary, I couldn't sleep for at least a night after that. I had nightmares.
There are creepy things that are a part of this story because there's the good, the bad, and the in-between. Something you might like to hear about that I just received, and we'll be posting it within this next week. One of our sources who occasionally, contacts us is a man who has cosmic top secret security clearance since the mid-1980s. And he started out in the military, and then he went to the security for the State Department, and he went on even beyond that. And he sent an article, and it's going to be titled, "Why is Alien Disclosure So Hard?" And he divides it into 3 different groups. He said the first group that doesn't want this information out are those that have been part of the government or agencies or think tanks that have participated in what he calls horrifying experiments and devilish trades with certain alien groups and mass betrayals of humanity. And he said the younger people involved in those agencies are not personally guilty of the atrocities that have happened before the mid-1990s, but those before that time are very guilty of some really dark things, and they don't want to be found out, and they will buck this to the day they die. The second group, he said, that fights disclosure are those that are wealthy and a few millionaires, but he said most all the billionaires and royalty. And they don't want to give up their money. They don't want to give up their power. And it links with some of this. And if they allow complete disclosure, they're going to lose what they have. And the third group is actually alien researchers. And he said that there are he calls them a society, and some of them are so locked into their theories, their pet theories on aliens and UFOs, that they fight within the organizations, and so they're getting in the way of all this also.
Well, yeah.
If I'm sounding bad to you, it's because I'm hearing myself constantly while I'm talking to you, and actually I'm annoying.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know why this is happening.
And I hate to say it, you're the only one it happens to every time I call. I've never...
No, it's not every call, but the last 2 times it's been that way.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, I changed my broadcast mixing board even since the last time we talked, because I figured maybe something was wrong with my other one, and I changed it up.
Well, you did fix it the last time.
Yeah. Well, maybe,
okay.
I don't know. But, it really... how can I say it? I was talking to another talk show host that is a major talk show host, and we were talking this week, and he's coming down with the same type of feeling I'm feeling. There's a lot of people who are calling themselves investigated reporters, and they have no background, and they're making all these claims, like on Facebook, on other media, and they have no background investigating news, let alone anything. And, people are believing a lot of I hate to say it, the stuff they say. And that's what's scary. And that's what's damaging the whole thing about the paranormal, UFOs, and you name it.
Because everybody wants to jump in and everybody wants to be the know-it-all for whatever the topic is. And there's a real problem. I have heard that there is a lot of infighting among UFO researchers. There are some who believe that the aliens are all going to come down and save us, and they go out there and they try to invite all the UFOs and the aliens in. And I think people ought to be real cautious about that, because they might not get what they think they're going to get. And then there's the people who think that all aliens come from hell and are, buddies of the devil himself, and that's the other extreme. And in reality, we do have all aspects, and we have to be very dependent on our own gut feelings. So our gut feelings will protect us if we pay attention to them. Sometimes the logical mind gets in the way.
Well, how can I say it? I mean, it's scary. About a week ago, I made a remark on the air, which I never have gotten negative feedback from anybody in the past year and a half. But I kind of mentioned, that I am tired of these people coming on my air of my show or reading it on the media saying that, Bigfoot or UFO aliens are warm, fuzzy, lovable creatures that love mankind, and they give off orbs, and they're here because they love men. And yeah, maybe there is a group of them that loves men, and maybe there's another type that loves men for a different reason, like you like going to Burger King for a burger. I mean, we don't know. So it's all speculation of people that don't know what they're talking about, saying all this stuff. And, I'd rather, get to the nitty gritty. I just can't believe, aliens are connected with Bigfoot, and they give off orbs, and they're here to save mankind. I just don't believe that.
Well, I don't think that Bigfoot give off orbs, but I've seen